Set up now.
I guess that's a.
Church. Start church music.
We ready?
I think we're on.
Our tape recorder's running?
Sir.
All right, so it's 5 o'clock. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. And would somebody like to lead us in a prayer?
I certainly will.
Father God, we just thank you for this time to come together as community members to sit in this board meeting, Father, discuss community matters. Father, we ask that you be in our midst, Lord God, and guide us in our decisions, Father. Father, I ask for a hedge of protection around this department and all the personnel that work for it, Lord God. We ask and we pray all these things in Jesus' name.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, folks. So gotta do a roll call. Mr. Ricks,
Present.
Mr. Casanay.
Here.
Mr. Baptiste.
Here.
Mr. Jacks.
Here.
And I'm here, we have a quorum, everyone's here. So a little bit of change in the flow of our meeting, to be respectful of Grant's time. I'm gonna go ahead and move the bond discussion up to the very front.
Okay.
So what we have is a resolution. I want to point out a few things to you. You have, do they have these in their packages?
Yes.
Okay, so everywhere in here that says 2 million is correct. So we made an amendment to it. We've got the fresh one, we've looked at it, we signed it. And so what that really, this is an intent. This doesn't lock us into anything. And so, without me messing everything up, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Grant, and he could explain what's going on, and we could ask him any questions that you like, and stick it to the bottom. Mr. Schroeder, so when you.
Thank you very much. This is a preliminary approval resolution. It sets the maximum parameters under which users borrow funds if you determine to proceed to borrow funds. It's for not exceeding 3 million. It's secured by the millage that you just passed. It's for not exceeding 15 years and not exceeding 6%. Adoption of this resolution permits us to file with the parish council for their approval and also for the approval of the State Bond Commission in Baton Rouge. You also have in connection with this resolution a draft timeline to complete the financing. And
If not, I have it here.
And the timeline provides, it starts tonight with the adoption of the preliminary approval resolution, and then you see the filing deadline and the parish council review and approval, and also the filing and the State Bond Commission approval. We will handle those filings. With respect to the State Bond Commission, no one from the district needs to attend that meeting. We have representatives from our firm that appear at all the State Bond Commission meetings, and we'll handle that. With respect to the parish council, we will also, either I or one of my partners will be there also, and we also represent the parish council. They do request that you have a representative from the district present, particularly at the agenda review meeting, which is March 25th at 1:30. I think the chairman has indicated he's planning on attending that. And again, you might ask the councilman, Joe, if you need to come to the full council meeting. As of late, they have not been requiring it, but you need to ask the sponsoring councilman, who will be Joe Impastato. Once we have these approvals and so forth, you'll be authorized to complete a loan within these parameters evidenced by a bond issue. We have furnished the chairman with a draft commitment letter with an unspecified bank so that he can make the contacts, and he already has, and see what appetite there is and what kind of rate you might be able to obtain. So all that's going to be in play while we're getting the parish council approval and the state bond commission approval. Bond commission approval will be the last approval, May 21, and assuming we have a satisfactory bank commitment letter, we can deliver anytime after May 21, and the money will be in the bank, the entire 3 million or whatever amount you determine to borrow up to and not exceeding that 3 million. Under federal law, you have to have a reasonable expectation when we deliver the bonds and the money is in the bank. A reasonable expectation you'll be able to actually spend that money, at least 85% of it within 3 years of that date. So this will set everything in motion and prepare you for this.
Other things to point out, the money can be invested. So while we're waiting to purchase the things, the capital improvements, legal to invest it, so we can, it's fair. And as we discussed on the phone, we have up to the day of signature. If things change, there's a lot of people think about what happens if we lose inventory tax. Well, by signing these papers today, we don't lose the right to back out.
Up until once you receive an offer from the bank,
Yeah.
it's only binding on you at such time as you actually accept it.
Yeah.
It have to be approved by this board.
So, any questions for Grant?
So, we get the state bond commission approval. How much time do we have to actually get it from the bank or to get the loan from the bank? Is there?
That all depends on the bank and when you ask them for a commitment letter. The bond commission approval is perpetual. It does not expire.
Okay.
I've just completed a bond issue from a 2019 state bond commission approval.
Okay. So,
And the parish council approval doesn't expire either. So it just sets you up. You're ready to go. You're ready to go and you have a bank commitment. We'll bring appropriate resolution to this board to consider acceptance of it. If you accept it, we'll then close the transaction.
okay. So whatever money we do bond, we cannot return that if we don't use it. So if we pull 2 million, we have to use 2 million.
We have prepared the draft commitment letter that's being shopped with one or more banks, such that you can prepay it at any time.
Okay.
Not all banks will accept that. So we may get kickback on that and they may say you can't prepay it for 5 years or 10 years. We just don't know at this point. It depends on the bank and what their position is at that particular point in time. But we go into it asking at least that they allow prepayment at any time, in which case you could use unexpended bond proceeds to prepay it without.
Understood. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Anyone else? Okay, so this is, has to be voted by roll call. So, but first we'll need a motion to accept the resolution. And this is going to be resolution 2026-15. So I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second? So do we have any further discussion as it relates to this resolution? I hear none, so let's vote by roll call. So, Mr. Ricks, how do you vote?
Yay.
Mr. Cavanagh,
Yes.
Mr. Baptiste,
Yeah.
Mr. Jacks?
Yay.
And I vote yes as well, so the motion carries. And then I did not put that on your copy,
We have all present, right?
all present. Okay. I just need to sign, do I need to sign that page?
We've got it.
It's already done.
You're done.
Okay.
You're done.
All right, well, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate you taking me up.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice. Thank you. Danny, I'll see you at agenda review with the council.
I intend to be there.
And you'll talk to Joe and let him know that
Yeah, I'll let you.
he's sponsoring it. Okay.
I just have, gotta wait till we're not fussy with each other. All right, guys, so next up on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of February 11th, 2026. So I'll need a motion to approve, and I'll need a second.
I'll second that.
Any discussion specific to the minutes of February 11th?
No.
All in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none, so it carries. Michael, you're up. If you employee recognition.
Yes, sir, appreciate it. For recognition, Michael Couch has been here, for 4 years as a part-time employee as of the 20th of February. We have, since been on Michael Couch as a full-time employee. He has done several years with, Crockett Fire Department, and he's, now moved to us as a full-time employee, certainly much closer. He does live in Lacombe, he's a resident of Lacombe.
Oh, wow.
So he brings us those benefits as well as his years of experience in the fire service. So we certainly welcomed him as part of our full-time team.
When did you start, Mike?
Yes, next month.
April 6th.
Next month?
Cool. So he does have a little bit of a transition from that other job, and then he'll be here full-time as of April. Let's see, years of service, 19 years for some jerk named Michael Geisler. As of February 20th. Yeah, no. Part-time hires, Jamie Hendrickson, we've hired her part-time, she's a paramedic firefighter. Austin Graham, paramedic firefighter. Miles Watt, paramedic firefighter. So we've taken on 3 more part-time employees. And I believe that's all I have as far as employee recognition.
Thank you. Moves us into the treasurer's report. You to you.
Okay, and as of February, operating account, I have a back previous balance of $1,878,000, $878,240.36. And we have a 54 debits at $3,262,745.14, 71 credits, $4,093,197.66. And service charge was $200, and the average balance is $907,664.87. Interest paid was $5,293.60, with an ending balance of $1,049,479.70. In the money market account, we had a previous balance of $459,323.11, with 2 credits for $2 million, 3 debits for $1,445,000, and the average balance is $1,332,636.80, with debits, 3 debits of $1,445, and service charge 0, and average balance and the interest paid was $2,783.51, with an ending balance of $1,017,106.62. In the sinking fund, we average our balance as $1,516.63, and the credit 0, the interest paid was 65 cents, and the average balance is $1,560.65, and The ending balance is $1,517.28, and that includes all of the report.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. So do we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
Yeah.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any further discussion or any discussion at all concerning the treasurer's report? No. So all in favor of accepting the report, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none, so treasurer's report has been accepted. Chief?
Yes, sir. So, call volume, for the month of February, 198 calls. Year to date, 402 calls. EMS responses in February, 115 calls. Of, our EMS coverage, 99%, of the time we had paramedic coverage. During the month of February. 98% of the time we were able to cover all of our calls in the month of February. And then, that's broken down. So mutual aid's given. We, I don't know if y'all are aware, but District 4, we have an auto aid agreement with District 7. We have an auto aid agreement with District 7 due to some road construction on Highway 36. They're unable to get to certain areas within a reasonable amount of time, so we do have a working agreement with them to provide mutual aid service all the way up to Highway 36. So we are providing some medical and first response medical and fire coverage for District 7. So in District 7, we've responded to 4 medicals so far, 1 NVC, a motor vehicle accident, 1 vehicle fire, and 1 structure fire. The structure fire, I'm sorry, was mutual aid we provided to District 1. We provided a tanker.
And a rather large woods fire.
We did have a rather large woods fire, and that's where some mutual aid was received. We, of that 98% of the calls, EMS calls, we had, Acadian have to cover 1 of our calls. They also covered 2 of our calls due to the woods fire, and District 1 also provided mutual aid due to the woods fire as well.
So the things that we missed, on the ambulance cover, wasn't because we didn't have.
There's one day we were only able to provide 1 paramedic that day.
Okay, so it was short staffed.
There was one day we had multiple employees that were out. I think a couple were out sick, and it was just, we were only able to provide one unit that day. Number of billed medicals in February was 77 in total for February. Any questions regarding call volume? We went through some numbers out of, yeah. Any questions about it? All right, thank you. So some bullet points. I just want to touch on some of the things that we got going on as far as our fire district. I know we have strategic planning as old business, so we'll get to some of that stuff as well. But I did want to talk about PIL. So this was our rating year. We did PIL in November, and we got our results back a couple of weeks ago. And we are from a 4. We were a 4, and we have dropped, improved. I keep saying it wrong. We have improved to a 3.
Yeah.
So we are a strong 3. We're excited about that. That several factors go into those PIL ratings, training, manpower, apparatus, response times, staffing, Fire Prevention Bureau, which we're working on, and a whole list of other things. We do have that breakdown available. If anybody would like a copy, we certainly would have that available for y'all. But again, we're a strong 3. We were a 4 before, and so we're excited about that. We'll see what 5 years brings us.
Michael, is there any way to move up the next rating? So instead of waiting the 5 years, so I read the report and it seems like, 2 is, touchable with a little bit of a work. So what's the possibility of going back in 18 months to 2 years?
So there's certainly things that we can't fix now, training, response times. Those things can be fixed, and there's certain things that can be fixed, purchase of equipment. That's things that we are working on improving on. That's apparatus. Our pump testing can improve as far as pump capacity. So that's just a new apparatus.
So if we get those things, we don't have to wait 5 years.
Not necessarily.
That's
Not
my
necessarily, right, not necessarily. We do have 6 months to fix some things, but we also have the opportunity to go back to PIL and say we want to be rated earlier.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so,
I'd like to take a moment to, I think I could speak on behalf of the board here and most of my neighbors and thanking you guys for the good job in improving our rating. You know, I really appreciate that hard work that y'all did, and it's gonna make a difference.
yeah,
It really is.
we appreciate it. Appreciate that. And of course,
Kudos to y'all.
we've come to y'all for purchases and certain things. So of course, this is a group effort. It's not only just, you know, our administration, but our manpower, our guys on the streets, our suppression, who worked hard to make sure that we've gotten the proper equipment, our response times are appropriate. You know, so certainly we're gonna work to those goals. I think 2 is definitely achievable, even in 4 or 5 years. So it's a lot to be proud of, and we're excited. I don't know that we've been this far into a 3, even when we were a 3 before, so it's a huge improvement. And April 1st, our residents will have the ability to go to their insurance companies, our homeowners and property insurance companies, and, you know, let them know that our rating is improved, and they may see, depending on the insurance companies, a benefit to that and a decrease in their premium. So hopefully that happens. Of course, we can't speak for all the insurance companies, but certainly we encourage our citizens by April 1st to contact their insurance companies and see if that it helps with their premiums.
Perhaps, Michael, if we could generate a communication to the Home Builders Association, and the TAMA Corps.
Yeah.
You know, so that might be a good marketing strategy for commercial buildings. It'd be good to at least make sure they hear the messages that we
Great
got.
public relations.
Yep, so I think it was gonna be published in the Farmer, I think
It's already in.
the Farmer, so that's excellent publicity, and we certainly appreciate them from taking the story and spreading the word to our communities. We do plan as far as that's concerned, this kind of touches into strategic planning, but it's PIL as well. We're gonna meet with Kenny Weber, see what improvements we can make, you know, on that end, and also what adjustments we can make as far as apparatus. Y'all are aware that
And
we have.
Weber is property.
He's property insurance, he's the guy that did our writing, I'm sorry. To see what he recommends as far as apparatus and apparatus placement. So y'all know we have a 42, 43-year-old rescue truck that we may not have to have. So we're hoping to have those detailed conversations now that we've got the rating back to see what adjustments we can make as far as apparatus replacement. So I know at one point we talked about a new pumper, new rescue. We may not even need to invest in a rescue, and we can look at new pumpers instead. So we'll hopefully get those finite details with Mr. Kenny Weber now that we have our rating back. Of course, you know, he'll tell us different adjustments to make as far as pump size, pump capacity, and all that other stuff. So we certainly plan on meeting with him sooner or later to get that going. Woods Fire, we talked about the Woods Fire. Not a lot to update on that. At this time, Forestry's handling that investigation. I know it's been a huge topic. Forestry's handling that investigation. I know they've gotten some leads recently from some people in the area who may have had some concerns or some ideas of why it started. We don't have that information at the moment. Certainly we'll share that when it does become public. Fortunately, no homes were damaged, no property was lost, and nobody was hurt. So I think that's the take back on that. There was some excitement on I-12, obviously, when it crossed the interstate. We had to shut that down a couple of times. We certainly received a huge number of calls on the interstate from concerned bystanders and people driving through. So we did have an uptick in response to the interstate. So we, we're glad that as big as it was and how much smoke it produced that day, that it wasn't a huge impact on our neighbors. So with that said, we talked last meeting, we purchased a drone. That was a huge benefit on that call. District 4 had 2 of their drones in place during the entire event. They were able to live stream it to us, so I can literally watch what was going on in some of the areas right here from this TV in my office. We watched the power lines and the CLECO, the workers working the power lines that were involved as far as the fire. So we do have that drone, and I do have it on display. When y'all walked in, you saw it, and certainly y'all can look at it. Don't touch it. You can look at it. You can fly it if y'all want. We can go look around and see what's going on, but I certainly have it on display if y'all want to look at it, touch it, ask any questions.
So on the drone, so it's not same type of drone that our District 4 had. Those were, seemed to be beefier and bigger pieces of equipment. But I was able to be at that fire and I was watching that technology. And it was priceless.
Yeah.
You know, the people were, a lot of excited people, calling Joe Impostata, calling everybody, just, the community does. Yeah, yeah. So, but we were sitting over there and we could see that there's nothing at risk at this time. And so we'll have to do some education because people expected to see fire trucks. And it was like, no, we're looking at it. It's nothing there. It's your house. We're looking at your house and it's fine. And it's like, where you at? But it was so impressive for this thing to have mapped out. And then we actually was able to keep an eye on the dozers.
Yeah.
So as forestry was in there plowing, we could watch them.
Yeah.
And if they were in distress, we could see it. There's very impressive technology.
Yeah, this technology wasn't there just 10, 15 years ago. We could predict where the fire's going, any dangers, what's in its path. Man, it's just
So
invaluable.
I was going to talk to you about it, but I would say it now. I listened to on WWL radio today. They were talking about drones, the use of drones in the French Quarter area. They are going to be putting in drones that are dispatched and flown by the 911 provider. And so it's allowing them to better use the resources.
Right.
So they could say, we have a fight at the corner of X and Y, and they could launch a drone and they go to X and Y and they say, well, there's nothing here. We can see there's nothing here. So it allows the police department to divert to something that's more necessary. Same thing with fire. They get there, they fly over X and Y, and flames are coming out the roof. They'll say, well, you need to go ahead and take 2 more engine companies. So the technology is really expanding.
The benefits are endless. The opportunities to use it is endless. It's
Yeah.
definitely thermal imaging too. The thermal imaging.
Oh, that's perfect.
And you can consider evacuations and those kind of things,
You could look at an evacuation route.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of the citizens were concerned. They wanted answers in reference to evacuation orders. And there never were. I mean, we kept reiterating. I was on, I think, every news station that next day, and on Facebook, and any route we can put it out. We had communications with the public information officers through the state, the fire departments, local law enforcement. There were no orders to evacuate. There never were. There were no homes in danger.
Right.
We had this eye in the sky. We were able to fully look at what was going on. We had drone operators in Thibodeau watching it live, giving us directions on what little side streets, which deer camp access points, hunting trails to go down to access the fire. I mean, all of this was managed from the air. We had full eyes on this thing. We were fully confident there were no houses in danger. Certainly if they were, we would have notified the residents through all of our social media and through regular media. So it was a lot more excitement. There was a lot of smoke. We saw the plumes coming from Slidell. It looked very dramatic. I can understand the concern. But again, we were able to watch this fully the entire time from the sky. Until we felt comfortable releasing those drones. We were there till 2 a.m. On a private lot off of Fish Hatchery. So we were 100% confident that we were not going to have a need for evacuations in homes.
So Mike, how did command go as far as command, unified command with other agencies and everyone involved? How did that
It,
communications?
I think all that went well. We did have another incident during the call where we had some residents in danger off of Pontchartrain. It was a separate fire, which was honestly more dramatic than this fire, to be honest. But we did have some residents that were in danger, so we had that call going on while this other fire was going on. We did have, like I said, District 1 and 4 involved. It was direct line of communication once we got to the drone site, so there wasn't a huge issue. I think it went well. I think it was manageable. I don't think there were real issues with our incident command structure. It didn't grow to the next level. EOC was involved, Clint Ory, the Director of Emergency Service Operations, was fully involved the entire time, so we had direct contact with him. That live stream, at one point, the governor was watching it, so everybody, local authorities, state was all involved, all in communication, all watching this fire at the time, so.
Good.
I think everything was in place. If we needed more resources, we had direct contact to get those resources. Forestry certainly was involved with multiple dozers. And again, because it was a forestry involved fire, they're handling that investigation. I'm anxious to hear those updates as much as anybody else, as far as a cause, if they can determine the cause.
Have y'all done an after incident critique? Yeah.
We have not, we have
It takes an incident like this, you can improve upon.
Yeah,
That's where we learn.
absolutely. There's a few things I talked specific to drones. I think there needs to be a consolidated resource as far as deploying drones. So we all know what districts have them, what capabilities their drones have. So they can almost automatically be dispatched instead of being requested for certain calls. And you know, forestry products like this can spread fairly quick. So we want to be able to get eyes on that. These drones were also District 4, District 11, 1 also were assisting law enforcement during Mardi Gras. So they were deploying drones off of the courthouse during those parades. Slidell had 2 locations where they were deploying drones during that parade. District 4 was in the French Quarter during Mardi Gras, deploying drones to assist law enforcement on their end. So, I mean, there's plenty of benefits. I can go on and on and on and on and on, more on and on about these drones. But again, it's here. We can fly it at some point if y'all want to go look for tornadoes or something a little bit. But it's certainly here. All the little bells and whistles that came with it are over there on display for y'all. Let me go on to the next subject. Dog. We got a dog.
Before you go off of that,
Okay.
I think it's worth commenting about the public's response to the fire department as it related to that large fire. We had Hartsville Fire got involved. They had some food prepared. Prior to that food arriving here, we had Leishman's give, I don't know, I don't think they ran a ticket on it, several $100s worth of food. And then it came for days.
Yeah.
People, I watch people drop off various items here for the firemen to help get these guys ready and up and moving.
That's a
So,
wonderful thing.
yeah, it was really, it was good to see.
Yeah,
Yep, it's
absolutely.
good to see.
Yeah, there's 3 thank you cards on that counter right there specific to the Woods Fire. If you want to check those out, we did get a cash donation from a citizen thanking us for helping the Woods Fire. District 11 donated they didn't donate, they loaned us a side by side that we can access some of the fires we needed to. We didn't use it, but it was brand new. Never been used, so I was. Wow, man, I don't have to. I don't want
You didn't want to
I
tear
want to be the first guy.
Well, the fact they donated a brand new.
Well, no, yeah, you don't know yet. Anyways, all these other departments really rallied together. Like I said, I'm in the chiefs group, the PIO group. They all offered anything that we needed. Everybody was all hands for whatever resources we needed. Thank you. So, we got a dog.
It's a cool
We
dog.
got a dog. Long story short, I take the blame for the dog. The Dalmatian, the dog was introduced to us in the chiefs group. Anybody interested, contact the owner. They're looking to rehome it. Me being a loving animal owner and have a love for animals, I fell for it. So next thing you know, dog's here, we're playing with it, and they left. We got the dog. So, Jim was there, he was excited, he told me to do it. So we got a dog. We are, obviously, Mr. Jackson's got some contact with somebody who's offered to train the dogs, so we're working on that. We'll work on vet and all that other shenanigans that comes with being a loving dog owner, so we are.
So we got a dog.
Got another dog. So there's kinks that we're working through. Obviously, there's always those little minute kinks that you gotta get through as far as bringing on an animal, but I'm excited about it.
I believe that dog is gonna pay benefits with the community. That, I can see that dog at that nursing home, the schools, the
Oh, yeah.
citizens.
Mhm.
That dog's gonna get more value than you realize.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he's super friendly. He's puppy, so he's got some growing and learning to do. But I'm confident he's trainable, and he's been around my two dogs. He's been around my goat. Tortoise. So and he hasn't eaten anything yet. So I'm excited about it.
Your anniversary.
That's Valentine's Day. I bought her chocolate and flowers, and she still needed a goat. I hope she's watching. I hope she's watching. I hope she's happy. What is that?
Said chickens from the market.
My son brings chickens home too from school. So y'all want chickens, I'll bring them. They cannot be trained, I've learned. Real quick, Unit 33 was involved in a fire last month. One of our employees' vehicles fully involved fire at Station 33. Our Unit 33 was involved as an exposure. That vehicle has been deemed a total loss by our insurance company. So we did receive a check for that. We are in the process of sending off the title, and at some point they're gonna come pick up that. So we'll be looking to replace that unit at some point in the near future. No injuries.
So we're using a spare right now?
We have two pickup trucks. It's just a pickup trucks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
two. We call our pickup trucks units.
Mhm.
So we still have two other pickup trucks. Plus Mark's got one he never uses. Fire Prevention Bureau, so without giving too much detail, the individual that was heading up our Fire Prevention Bureau is no longer employed at District 3, has offered his resignation. So we do have another employee who has stepped up to fill that void. Patrick Pereira has volunteered to take on that task. So we're working on getting him trained up as far as doing inspections. So a little bit of a setback, but I'm excited about Patrick filling that role, and I think we'll be able to, fulfill those needs of that bureau. So inspections and whatnot will still continue. We're just
New
working on getting him
timeline,
trained.
new 6 months.
He's got to do some ride time with one of the other fire districts, the
He's
fire
started.
bureau. So he's already started that. Once he gets that
Maybe
clearance,
6 months away.
I think that's I think that's that's.
Gotta get some certifications out of that.
I think he's got the baselines, but he does have to do the ride time with the fire department and just kind of get into the system as far as our reporting system and figuring out those kinks. But I think he's more than competent to take on that role. So we're glad that he's able to fulfill that. I have a quick meeting with Pelican Urgent Care tomorrow. We're going to discuss some of our some of the medical things that they do as far as onboarding and drug testing and injury. When people are out on injury leave, they'll help manage that whole process. So we're gonna hopefully work with them, and again, I'm meeting with them tomorrow. So just an FYI for y'all. We'll see if that pans out or not, but the current company we're using, they do the job for the most part, but there's, I think, more benefits to this other option. Slidell praises them, so I would like to see what we can take advantage of, and certainly if somebody can fully manage with a caseworker, anybody who's on leave, I think that would benefit us as well. Did I miss anything? All right, I don't know if y'all have a report, Mark, no report.
Update on training. Recently, the majority of full-timers attended the LIFT conference. They were able to pick between tactical leadership courses. It's always an awesome conference. We've been doing that for years now. FETA for this month, their topic was thermal imaging cameras at 32.
So they're still coming to 32?
Yes,
Doing
we started back up February.
So,
So mailed out once a month. In a couple of weeks, Mason and Jordy will be attending fire investigator school at FETA in Baton Rouge. And then we're hoping in June to send the 3 new full-timers to EMT school. And that's about it, training and event-wise. We participated in the school's Mardi Gras parade and the home parade. That's about it.
well, any questions for the chief? Thank you, folks, for the report. Very thorough.
Yeah.
All right, next on the agenda, Ms. Rosa.
Yeah, I have a couple items this month. First one is, Hearts on Fire is going to be participating in the Rec Center Easter Bash. We'll have a table out there, probably with some goodies for the kids, a table, and then, let's just have the community come out and see us and questions and whatnot, and hopefully, pick up memberships.
So on the membership, so they can be, how is that working, the membership? So I knew at one time, you got funding and then I think we was gonna get a card or something.
Yes.
Is that still,
We're still going, right now, we don't have very many members, so we kind of put that on hold until we have a nice little batch
okay.
so that we can run.
Do you, so
Cards.
if we upped last year, I think several of us, is it an annual that, so do we do a membership again?
No,
Okay, so it's
no,
lifetime.
correct,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
So far, it's lifetime and we're just trying to grow that number.
Okay.
And then the second thing is, I've been in communication with the president of Slidell Fire Auxiliary. They're obviously a similar group to what Hearts on Fire is in a bigger scale. She reached out to me and has invited Fire District 3 to participate, along with the commissioners and Hearts on Fire, to their annual Frontline Formal. It's a formal event. It is held at the Slidell Auditorium. It's actually open to all first responders. It's a St. Tammany Parish wide for first responders, law enforcement, EMS, and fire are all welcome.
When is that?
It's April 25th at the Slidell Auditorium from 7 to 11 a.m. and tickets are available now. Behind me, there's a flyer that has a QR code that we can scan and buy tickets there. People can reach out to me and I can collect monies and then give that to the president or whoever's involved.
So either way.
Yes, and then we can just have a big batch and then just tell her they're all from Fire District 3 and then just give her our names because they will have a list on how to get in, and it is a formal event.
Okay.
So, what is it? Blue.
I went last year and learned a very important lesson. As a well-seasoned fraternity guy, no one parties like a fire department. So, it was fun. It's a very good time.
Yeah, food is included in your ticket. Non-alcoholic beverages are included in your dinner, and the dinner is catered by NOLA Southern Grove.
Yes.
Yeah, NOLA Southern Grove, and there will be music, DJ, dancing, something like that. So it'll be a good time, and
What was the date for that?
it is April 25th. It's a Saturday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Slidell Auditorium. And I have a flyer that I was gonna pass out and put up in the stations for the guys and make myself available if they wanted to send me money, check, however, and then I can have a list. Yeah, I guess it was called something else before, but right now it's Frontline Formal. And that was it.
Okay, well, thank you, Ms. Rose. Any questions for Ms. Rose? Do you need anything from the board
Not at the moment.
at the moment? Well, thank you for the report. then. All right, moving into old business, and the first thing on the agenda in old business is strategic planning. So Michael, you have the floor.
All right, so we are finally, we're finally excited because we're at a point where we can start actually, making some moves. I think we made one of the moves tonight with the approval of our bond to go for a bond through the parish council. So we're excited about that. That's gonna give us some of the funding to finally start acting on hopefully a couple of new trucks in Station 32. I don't know if y'all are aware, it's been the 32, but it is beyond its life. It is in need of renovation or a complete rebuild so that we can go into the future. We have room for apparatus, we have room for staffing. I think it's been duct taped and bandaged enough in the past couple of years, and I think we're at a point where it really needs to have a full start over, full rebuild. And so hopefully we can continue with that process. Obviously, that's some of the money, the funding from the bond is going to go towards that. So a couple of weeks ago, I was able to meet with Chief Kaufman, Chief Gross, and an architect, an agency that's getting us rolling in the right direction. So we have ordered surveys for the property, land surveys, flood surveys, underground surveys, as far as what's underneath that property, so they know how they would have to build a foundation for any kind of construction that would go there. They had some really good ideas that they threw at us, so I'm excited that people, Chief Kaufman's very busy. He's got a huge fire department that he runs and he maintains, and so for him to take just a couple hours and come talk to us and Chief Gross, I'm excited about the future at 32, so hopefully we can move forward on that once we get some of those results back from those assessments and those surveys, and kind of start building out a fire station for that area. We have been in communications with Pierce and been in communication with US Fire as far as apparatus. Again, we're waiting on some of those details from PIL. Now that we have those, we're able to kind of start looking in real time at what type of trucks that we can get. Will we fully need pump capacity, water storage and such? So we're working on those numbers, and certainly we'll have the funding, hopefully in the next few months, to finally move on those, to move on that apparatus purchases. So we're really, I think we're excited. We're finally getting to a point where we can actually start acting on some of these Christmas wishes we've had for the last few months.
So when we think about Station 32, we briefly talked about it, Michael. I know the property insurance came back with some of the gaps were in training, and we know those gaps have to do with the tower.
That's just one of the gaps, yeah.
But it's there. So when we're doing that look down there, see if it's worth, if the building of a tower is worth getting us to that next level in insurance rating. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if it's cost effective to build that and we get the gain by going lower insurance, that's another component. I think it would be worth a look. I mean, we don't have to have the Cadillac of towers, but if we had one that,
They're not that expensive. I mean, it's just metal building. They're built
Connex block, as I'm saying, Connex.
tin and metal, and you can configure them any way you want,
Yeah.
Some
Some of those deficiencies in that report, as far as training tower, was not specific to us owning one or having it on our property or having a fully established training division. But a lot of that was our actual participation at the training tower. So you do get credit for multi-company, multi-department drills and stuff like that. So that was some of the deficiencies.
That sort of thing.
Even so, it's considerate when you.
It's not the first 2 to 3 years within that rating, we were unable to partake in the drill.
Yeah,
tower.
just
So,
look at it as an opportunity. If we're gonna be doing some big work down there, it may be worth talking to see if we can pull it off.
It's been on some employees' wish list.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Paul, I think would be excited to hear that, so we'll definitely look and see. And again, Chief Coleman had some great ideas on how to merge what's existing on that property and add to that as far as a new building, so certainly we wouldn't lose a living space if we can start building a new piece of property while we have the old property still in place. So there's a lot of factors that go into to doing this. And so, again, I think we're finally getting to a point where we can kind of see some of these things coming to fruition.
Any questions or comments?
I have just something on the, if it's possible, because there, it would help for accountability to the community, to the firefighters, and to the board. And I'm glad I saw this today because this is perfect. Is there any way we could generate a timetable as it relates to both capital improvements and apparatus?
Yeah, set of goals.
Yes, so that, we can, because it's difficult for the board and the community as well as the firefighters to actually understand that things are happening behind the scenes that we may not know. And particularly if the community has been gracious enough to offer us the ability through the millage to get these bonds, we can have something prepared for them to say, this is where we are. That way, we can look and say, okay, well, this month, this should have been handled, and then we can request if that actually has occurred. Is that
Yes.
something that we could do?
Absolutely, yeah. I know just with the building itself, they warned me at least 3 months to even get the survey, so.
Absolutely, no, but that's good to know.
Yeah.
So we can, they know that work is being done, meaning the firefighters, the community who knows that we are working towards the final goal. That would be
It's a good idea.
I appreciate that, yeah, and this last week we met with 3 or 4 of the shifts, right, 4 of the shifts. And we are continuing to do that as well, to keep them in the loop as far as what we're doing, so I know they want that too, that feedback as well, so we are trying to make that a point internally, make sure that the employees are fully aware of what we're doing, our intentions. Certainly, there's a lot of moving parts, and sometimes we do miss on fully announcing some of the things that are getting done, so I think that would be helpful.
It would, it's a good idea.
Yes.
All right.
Mark and throw something up.
Thank you.
Anything else on strategic plan? Nope, moving on. All right, so under old business, update on filing with the Louisiana Office of Debt Recovery. So we got a few bullet points here. So since the last time we met as a board, we sent out about 300 mailings, is that right?
217.
217, okay, so it's closer to 200. I am. And so we've had some response back. So from folks receiving the letters, and it's a mix of things. And these are just a sampling of the responses. One of them is, things like a pretty common theme is that they never received a bill. Now, it doesn't surprise me. These bills that went out were Insight bills. And I had very little confidence in their ability as a billing company. And this just seems to prove my intuition was right. I don't doubt that these people I didn't receive one. I don't think they're making it up. Then there's, I didn't receive the services.
Okay.
I never got the bill, but we do have people that are providing the death certificates. They're coming in, they're providing them, how many, we have a handful? About 5. All right, so that's 5. And we got payment?
2 payments.
2 payments. All right, so, the cause and effect, right? So we sent out a letter. It may not have been the most poetic letter, but a letter went out. And it's moving it now, right? So now we got people talking about, well, I didn't pay, I didn't, my folks are dead, I paid it, whatever the case may be. And if you really look at the essence of what we're trying to accomplish here, we're really just trying to accomplish balancing the books, right? So if people come in and say, I paid the bill. If they can show us reasonably that they paid the bill, we can scratch that one off. It's done, it goes away. Death certificates, I believe we've already agreed that we're not gonna bring every death back to this board. So we're scratching them off the list. So there are some things we have to do. The first letter didn't give a lot of clarity. There was a form letter, we used it from the state, it went to them, it worked, we got people's attention. And we're sending a clarifying letter out. I think it's already developed. When will we get that out, the clarifying letter?
This week.
This week, so by Friday, the clarifying letters are going out. The clarifying letter really just gives details to the service. So instead of saying that you owe us for ambulance, it's gonna say that on this particular day, you were picked up, you were brought to the hospital, St. Tammany Hospital, and this is your bill. And we'll see where that takes us to the next round. We got some calls to make. Some people that's called, left messages. And so we'll address those. You know, they called, they left messages, and it's very appropriate that they get a return call. So we'll start returning calls to these folks. Those were 60-day letters, 30-day letters will go out next month.
Yes, sir.
Next month. And things that aren't resolved by the end of the 60-day period will be turned over to the state. If people are working with us, we have the right to hold those back, not turn them to the state. So if people are saying, I'm getting my stuff together, wonderful, get it together, hold those back. The next round, though, those were all insight bills. The Coronas ones will be the next batch. I believe that's about $80,000 worth. A lot of evidence there, good record keeping, non-disputable things, evidence that the bills were sent. It's going to be very clean. I think that's it on the debt recovery, unless Steele, you have something you want to add to it.
Just that the next letter, the clarification letter, the first letters we sent were worded from ODR. So even though they sounded really harsh, that's the wording that the state says to use. The next letters are clarification to the individual, and also attached will have the paperwork for debt forgiveness. So individuals get this, they can't pay. All the instructions on how the board forgives those debts and whatnot will be attached, along with email address and phone number that they can call with any further questions. So that's the updated letter. And then once all those are sent out, 30 days from the 60-day letter, we'll continue to with the process. It's just difficult with, as you said, with Insight, we don't have a lot of the information or proof or whatnot, but with Coronas, it will be a much more seamless process.
No, any questions?
Do you have one of those letters easily available real fast?
I don't have one
It's fine.
here, but we get you one, yeah, it's,
I know I read it. I'm trying to recall the
Language.
language.
yeah, it's,
It just basically says that you have name, case number, you have a debt for the fire department in this amount. This is a 60-day notice. In 30 days, you'll receive another notice. After that, you'll be sent to the Office of Debt Recovery, State of Louisiana, and possibly a 25% fee added on top of what you owe.
I understand.
we'll get you one. Okay. Just for record, so I'll make sure. Anything else around the Office of Debt Recovery things? Nope. All right, moving on then. New business.
I'm glad to see we got the process going.
It's moving. It's moving. It may not have been out very poetically, but it's moving. All right, so new business. So we've got a resolution 2026-13. It's the adopting of the official journal for St. Tammany Parish Fire District 3. And that resolution shows it to be the farmer. This is something, it seems like we do this every year.
Yes.
And so it's just, it's used for various things if we want to go out for millage. That's where we list our information, et cetera, et cetera. I guess when it comes out, maybe some bond information might have to go, so that's what it's for. So that's what it's all about, just it's, that's what we currently have, it's on it. Okay. So, and that's simply just going to memorialize that St. Tammany Parish Farmers our official journal. So I'll need a motion to accept 2026-13, the adoption of the official journal.
I'll make a motion to accept 23.
And
013.
do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion on it? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So the motion carries. Congratulations, farmer. Item number 2, resolution of Board of Commissioners of St. Tammany Fire Protection District relating to approval of rules of conduct. All right, so essentially what this is, those of you who have attended the parish council meetings, in the very beginning, they make sure that the audience knows that if they want to talk, they can talk about a particular subject. It has to be on topic, and they have a certain amount of time that's granted to them to present their feelings. And then they can come back. I think they get 2-minute rebuttal.
Yeah.
Something like that. We don't have anything like that. And it would be good to be in alignment with the other agencies, the parish agency, along with other fire departments and such. And so that's what this resolution is. It simply limits said comments to a maximum of 3 minutes per person. It can always be extended by the board. If the board wants to get into greater depth, we don't have to say 3 minutes and it's over with. We can extend it. We have that privilege to do. So there it is. So I'd like to get a motion to accept resolution 2026-13. I'm sorry. 2026-14 resolution to rules of conduct.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I hear none, so the motion carries. The next one, item 3, it's amendment considerations to a resolution that was passed in 2022, and it was the resolution of the Board of Commissioners of St. Tammany Parish Fire District 3 relating to the approval of retiree benefits. This is brought by Mr. Ricks, and I'll yield to Mr. Ricks.
Okay, through subsequent discussions with staff and members here at the department, with regard to retiree benefits after they retire, employee benefits after they retire. The employee, as of right now, the employee has to put the full bill for their portion for the insurance to stay on the insurance. So through our discussions, I would like to recommend an amendment where the payment schedule would remain the same as if the employee is still working. In other words, the portion that they pay will remain the same, and the department will contribute what they were contributing, as they were employed. And that would continue until that former employee reaches 65 years of age until they join Medicare. So nothing else would change. I looked at the resolution, nothing else would change. The qualifications to remain on the insurance would still remain the same. The only thing different is the employee contributions.
So is you open, are you ready for questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess what I would have to understand is what is the difference between the amendments that you have and what was passed back in 2022? So the board, based upon the way I read that resolution, is that the board can set that anywhere they want it to be.
Mhm.
We're not set at making zero contribution. It simply says that we can make contributions based upon our financial ability to do so.
Yes.
Okay.
That's needed to be discussed and talked about, at this moment, from what I understand, there's only one retiree that is in effect right now.
I think we had a question about, former assistant chief. Logan.
He's receiving benefits under LWCC currently. All right.
I don't know if this is here.
So it may affect one for sure, maybe not.
Right.
So if, an employee has a spouse on his plan as he retires, he would continue to be able to keep that spouse on until he reaches the age of 65 and continue paying the ratios and the portions that they were paying before they retired. Just continue those payments. They would make their payments to the top department, would pick up the rest, just like that, and it would continue to the age of 65. That's basically all that's going to change. Just the contribution ratio, contribution rate. Anybody else? Any questions? I mean,
The contribution is gonna change as it relates to the,
percentages right now. The employee,
It's about, if I'm top of my head, it's around 30% that the employee pays. And
yeah, so it's roughly around 30%. We may have to get those exact numbers. So
I'm just trying to understand. So what you're saying is in retirement, whichever dependents are on the employee's policy at the time of retirement, the department will continue to pay 70% of those premiums while the
Correct.
employee pays 30%.
Yeah.
Is that what it's talking
correct.
about? Did we determine what that might cost the department?
is it okay if I speak on
Yeah.
that? It depends on one or two people, obviously, right now, and depends on the specifics and requirements to be able to participate in the program the board and the chief would set. But right now, if there were one, once you know the number that it qualify for it, then it's easily to the dollar yearly able to be predicted.
So
What is that?
Depends on what plan they're on. I'd have to look specifically with, it's like if it's husband, spouse, employee, spouse, then, I think off the top of my head, the total plan's like 1,700 a month, I want to say. Employees paying a portion of that percentage. This is off the top of my head, so don't hold me to any numbers. But yeah, in other words, it is very easily to predict the exact cost that would be yearly going in the future. Once you know how many it is, whether former assistant chief Lober qualified or not. That was not something I thought of. The former assistant chief, if it's just, and it's easy to qualify that number.
So I'm sorry, did you?
No, I mean, this is gonna be retroactive or it's just
I
gonna.
don't know, this was all new.
yeah, I'm pretty much heading this up, but I don't say wouldn't say it would have to be retroactive. I mean, just beginning from this point forward. It would be hard to go back and cover somebody. That would be a considerable cost.
I don't believe there'd be anybody that would be retro.
That's it.
That's usually going lower possibly.
Yeah.
I got just one more follow-up. So if you retired today, what would your contribution
If
under the
anybody
current,
at District 3 that retires right now will be paying the full allowance.
the entire amount.
That's happening currently right now with former Chief Seacard.
So
He
we
pays a
pay-
whole lot of money to stay on that.
We are paying 100% of Pat Seacard.
I'm sorry,
We pay 100%.
Pat Seacard pays 100% of it.
We pay zero.
We pay zero.
We pay zero, yeah.
Mhm.
So it would be roughly, depending on which plan they have, it's roughly 30/70.
I'm just curious, I'd like to know what that looks like,
Number looks like.
number, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah,
I think if you work your,
I think, the way I look at it, it's could possibly be a way of attracting some lateral transfers, guy, because there are not many other departments that have this,
Mhm.
and it's a big thing,
So this is not what you're proposing, is not customarily done at other departments?
Well, I had it at my department, in St. Tammany. I think maybe there's only one or two other departments in St. Tammany that have this. It could be a good attraction to maybe recruit some veteran firefighters to our department.
not that it's related, but the federal government does the exact same thing for me. And
Yeah,
it's not till I'm 65, it's for
Mhm.
life. So Rosa and I will have that for the rest of our life.
and like Dan said, at this time, I don't think it's gonna cost it. I really don't believe it's gonna, I don't know the exact numbers. It's not gonna cost our department a whole lot of money right now. And it may in the future when we have a big cluster of guys and we may have to revisit, the ratios of payments.
So is there an urgency to get it done now?
No, not in particular. I could get back and get some specific numbers and bring it back. We could table this and we could get some specific numbers and bring it back to you
Would
guys.
it be more appropriate instead of tabling it, just to reschedule until we hit budgetary time? So our we start our budgets in June.
Uh,
And then if it's going to be a budgetary thing,
Yeah,
perhaps we could say, let's build it into the budget and see what it looks like. Would that be fair?
I think that would work. I think that would be fair.
Any thoughts, right? Chief, what's your take on things?
As long as it's in place when I retire.
I will say there are two things to consider there. If the intention is to entice people either to stay here or come here, then you are creating some sort of contractual agreement, which may make it difficult to change in the future when somebody retires. If you tell somebody you're here for 20 years and we're going to pay 70% of your medical, and then they retire and you say, oh, well, I can't really afford that.
Although we could change it
You know,
moving forward from that employee, right?
you
Like
but you,
people hired
I'm
after
saying,
that.
be careful how it's set up. It will-
Yeah.
And also, what happens if somebody works 20 years in FD1, and works 3 years here, so that he can get our retirement,
Yeah.
medical benefit? You guys may want to start establishing some parameters to who qualifies.
That's why I'm
You know.
struggling to see
Mhm.
why we would want to change or amend the resolution. If we have the ability to build it into our budget
Mhm.
and say in 2027, based upon our finances, we're gonna pay 100%. Move on with. In 2028,
Mhm.
Folgers is gone, World Comes, we got no in, every year we could budget into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, I know it's not a
Maybe we can make
consistent
it
thing,
contingent on budgetary,
yeah,
uh,
but that's what we have the ability to do now. All we have to do is have a discussion,
Mhm.
build it into the budget, and it's done. That's where I'm at with it. If we have the ability to do it, why don't we just keep what we've got and exercise that right? And during our budget development. That way, we don't have a contractual agreement with, a perceived contractual
Right.
agreement with
Yeah.
anybody walking through the door.
Exactly.
I'm good with that.
Sounds like
I think the current, I think current resolution sets like an 18 years of service.
Yeah, we have that in
You're
place.
eligible for the
If we
benefit.
eliminate that.
So that could help with your 20 years in another fire department. I think it's specific 18 years with this fire department.
We have that built in.
So, yeah, I think that's helpful. I'm on the, I'm on the side of doing this responsibly as far as the financials that we're concerned about. We do have those issues with inventory tax that are looming over our heads. That will come to a vote, I think, very soon. And so I think we need to be mindful of that and be responsible as far as making these decisions in the future. I wasn't joking. I obviously would like to see something like that to benefit myself when I am eligible to retire. I would like to see something. I finally get my voice in at once and anyway, I would like to see benefits to our employees now. I think our contribution currently could be increased as well, so that this puts more money in our employees' pockets now, so. I think there's a lot to look into, and I think when we budget in June and July, that we can kind of throw all of these different options in it and see what we can afford and kind of make our current employees happy as well as appease the people that retire.
That's a good idea, yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
So that's all you got to say, all right, so is yours, I'm sorry, somebody else. So it's your topic, you brought it up. What do you want to do?
I guess let's just go ahead and withdraw it.
Okay,
Can we do that?
we can.
I don't think you need to. It's just consideration. So I think
Yeah,
you're just, yeah.
consideration.
Yeah.
Consideration.
So I would have you put it on your calendar in June,
When it comes to.
budgets, and see where it is.
Yeah, we'll sit down and we'll have some more conversations about maybe increasing something for the guys too, to put a little bit more in their pocket too. We'll see how the budget pans out.
I think in the meantime, though, we can kind of get a determination of approximately what costs, so we can get that as.
You should be able to do it 3, 5, and 10 years. You should be able to
Yeah.
say who's going to retire within 10
I'd
years.
just like to make one more comment on, I thank Mr. Rich for bringing it up. This is a conversation Mr. Arsenault a few years ago, was sitting in the same spot, I believe, as you are now. And just for the general public to know, there are circumstances where someone could work 25 years here, 20 years, 25 years, retire, and 35 to 40% of their money from their retirement would be just a health benefits.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why it's an issue.
Yeah, okay.
Chief?
I'm done. You can throw.
All right, so we're not gonna take any further action on it. All right, so the only thing left to do is to adjourn.
Yeah,
Do I have a motion?
number 4, Mr. Chairman.
Number 4?
That one's mine. BOC annual required reporting, ethics, harassment, and financial.
That didn't make it to the agenda.
It's on my agenda.
Is it?
Yeah. That's just a reminder to all the commissioners that you have your annual required reporting due. Ethics, harassment, and then next month really should be financial disclosures. It should be the deadline. But if
Okay.
you've done your taxes, go ahead and get it done. And,
I didn't see that one. I see it, but it's not online. Thank you for pointing it out to me. So everyone has completed their ethics and harassment?
Yeah.
Have you done your financial disclosures yet?
I haven't done my financial close.
Okay, and then,
I haven't done my harassment yet. I haven't done
Yeah.
harassment. I couldn't get.
then
I don't think they're technically due till May, but if you've done your taxes, you might as well
do it.
get them.
I noticed that you had sent out some other mandatory training.
Yes, so we're gonna,
What's that about?
that's the cybersecurity awareness. Apparently, that's something new that maybe we should have been doing the last couple of years, but brought to light to us, so from here on out, every year's been annual.
Has everybody seen that, in their email?
No, whatever you don't click on the link.
So
Maybe resend it. This is not cyber. It's a fast man.
Yeah.
It's not a cyber attack.
I will say, it gets me by the Generally, we get a heads up. Be on the lookout for this, it's coming, why you have to, I've seen it and I was like, oh, I wonder if he meant for us to do this. So,
Yeah, the
I
LLA.
gotta do
after
mine
that,
for the
so
next Columbus.
Start doing it.
Rest and stuff. Yeah.
All right, so unless anybody's got anything else,
Still got one more.
I'd like to have,
BFIS question here, Mr. Chairman.
BFI's question. Where did these things come from? Because I submit the agenda and I have not seen these.
You're gonna have to start using that hammer, man.
I'm telling you. VFIS questionnaire. Somebody tell me what this is about.
All right, so we met with, I met with, Martin Meskey this afternoon. You were in, you were on the phone.
Yep.
During that conversation, basically each year we go through the VFIS, insurance policy. We look at coverage as far as contents, buildings, vehicles, and we discuss some of the, recommended changes based off of the cost of the buildings and the, apparatus. So we have made some changes. Some of our buildings were underinsured by a lot. Typically, they're $370-ish a square foot, and we were under 200 a square foot. So if we had a loss of one of our buildings, hurricane, fire, or
32 was only 500,000.
yeah, we will
Yeah.
not be able to even rebuild the current building we have that's there. So we did make some adjustments that will reflect in some of the premiums. I'm hoping we can have those exact numbers. I'm assuming by the next meeting, we'll have those from our insurance rep. So we did make some of those changes with
Some
apparatus
apparatus we've
and
increased.
and occupancies, and we did increase some of our deductibles to kind of hopefully balance the premium. So I'm hoping to have those hard numbers previous to the next meeting for y'all to review as well. So
And this is with VFIS?
Yes,
Stellar
we're not going to
organization.
talk about first one.
yeah, but this building has gone up also since the.
This building was under insurance. All we
Yeah,
we looked at
underinsured,
each asset, and made sure that the drone is covered. So we want to make sure that every asset that we have is going to be covered. We're going to have some policy change as far as people responding to calls when. Anyway, I'm done with that. VFIS questionnaire. Any other questions?
Oh, no.
I'm open to anything else we need to do. I don't hear anything. Could we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the most of your job.
Here we have a second.
I'll second.
Folks have a wonderful night.